You beautiful people, God bless you. Thank you again for coming by. This is Ben Leto. Let's start. We're going to turn on our charts here. All right. Hope you can see that. We're looking at right here is the Russell chart. And again, we're going to be trading the Lion method. The Lion method is based on two indicators. One is an overbought, oversold, a scientific analysis of what it means to be overbought, oversold. And the other indicator is a fractal indicator, measures a fractal distance for our targets. It also identifies our stop loss and it tells us our entry level. So everything is coming together. Now we're considering adding a third indicator to the mix, and I'm going to call it the Tiger Claw. And the claw here at the bottom of this chart, you like that name, huh? The Tiger Claw here at the bottom of the chart is a order flow base indicator. So we're looking at the movement of current order flow. So are big participants involved? Are they buying or selling? And what's the pressure? So that's what that little volume wave down there is. The lion claw. I don't know if I should call it lion paw, but lions have claws, right? Yeah. Um, all right, so let's take a look. Let's get a good example of a entry here for the Lion system. What we first want to do is we want to look for an overbought, oversold area. Now that is easily identified by these yellow dots. These yellow dots show when we have hit an area, when we hit these bands. So these bands, these vertical pinstripe bands, are overbought up here and oversold down here, and they're centered around this yellow line. It's a 100-period average. When we touch these bands, that is overbought. And when we touch the lower bands, it's oversold. So you can see right here, a lot of touching going on there, a lot of overbought area, overbought 1 bar here, and 2 bars hit overbought here. So the market has been moving up and hit overbought quite a bit. So now we've got to determine when do we enter. We want to go short on overbought conditions. We want to go short when things are overbought. Well, basically right here, we want to look for when price comes back to these magenta dots. That's our sell signal. And our target is the blue line. Our target is the blue line down here. So we just barely missed target on this entry. Just barely missed target. We would have gone break even though, right around that area. Right here, one of our rules is once we go into profit, the whole bar is below the entry level. So the entry level is right here. Once the bar goes fully into profit, we move our stop to break even. So we would have had a break even trade there. Now what we're doing is we're adding to the mix, we're adding this order flow indicator at the bottom, and it's telling us when the order is flowing. When it's decreasing here, that means that the net selling activity is strong. So selling activity is stronger, and buying activity is stronger when it's sloping up. So we have this red average line and the green average line to help give us that kind of indication. So we want to go red, we want to go short when this thing is going red, and that's when we went short here. But now we quickly turned up and was going upwards, and we don't want to be short when the buying pressure is coming in. So we would put our stop there, and that would have been a break-even trade. Now we do go overbought here. However, there is no magenta dot in the recent past. There's one here. I wouldn't have gone short here because you don't want to go short when you're below the 100 on a rising trend. So that's not something I would do. I do like the fact that net selling really hit very hard once we entered that area. So we had a real strong, this magenta colored bars here show us that we exceeded our historical levels overbought for buying and selling activity, in this case selling activity. it really started coming in strong. So we had a lot of net selling going on as it rallied into overbought. See that? So that would have emboldened me to perhaps go short earlier, to go short here. This little swing down line. Let's see, Control FQ. That little swing right there could be an entry level, and we could have gone short here. So I'm just thinking through this a little bit. We didn't have a magenta dot here. We had a magenta dot way down here, which is just too far away, and it's below the 100 moving average. But this could have been a very interesting time to short. So we didn't have the fractal dot, which are these magenta dots, but we did have net selling just came in very strongly. We did have that too. When we went overbought in this area, we had a push down and started selling off right in here. Of course, it was going down, down, down the entire time, so that gives us an indication. But we also didn't get any sell dots here either. So it was a little dirtier. There might have been maybe going short right at that level could have made sense, but I don't know. Not too interested. This one, we did push up strongly into overbought, buying pressure into overbought, and then it just kind of trickled, and we were going down, 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 and our sell pressure came in. That's when we considered going short there. But so something to think about if it's just going strongly oversold here and the selling pressure is coming in, we're going to consider going short in that area right as we come out of overbought. So the two things that come into play there is that we're overbought, meaning the market rarely gets up this distance from the 100. That's what it's telling us. The market does not get above this distance away from the 100 very often. Couple that with the fact that it's strongly a selling environment. There's a lot of sell pressure coming in. So the overbought area was thoroughly rejected. That's what we're getting there, right? So let's keep that in mind as we do some more. That was on copper. Take a look at silver here, see if we have anything setting up in silver. So we had an overbought into we had a buying into overbought, we had buying into overbought. So that tells us the buying is pretty strong in this area. Normally we would look for selling here because we're overbought. But now that we brought in the tiger claw, we're going to look for order flow pressure to push us away from overbought. This is pushing us into overbought. See, when these green lines are coming, we're buying, buying, buying. We want to look for areas like that last chart where we're overbought and looking for a sell signal. Right now, there's really nothing setting up in silver. Let's go over to our chart here for the gold contract. See, now gold's interesting. We moved up strongly into overbought here. Overbought area, strong buying pressure. This is waffling a little bit. Now, this would be the sell signal, normal sell signal. And we do see order flow, sell pressure coming in, so it does trail off. We could have gone short here, and our target would be right at this blue level. So our entry is that dot. Our entry would have been right in this area. Our stop would have been this blue dot above here, and then our target is coming up. We're coming into that right now. Now, Leto channels, which is our overbought, oversold scientific analysis, is this yellow line, the channels, and these histograms. And the histograms tell us that usually this market likes to be going south during this time of day. So that's confirmation showing historically there. We just hit our target on that one. So this tells us historically that usually in this time of day, in the last 7 days, we like to be going south. And that's exactly what happened with this market. So this would have been a good short signal coming out of a strong buy, overbought, tapering off, the order flow going down. And actually, if we go right here, this histogram bar is negative, and it's right about the time when we do push through going short on our signal. Now, had you gone short here, that also just hit target. Just hit target. So these blue lines are our target lines. All right, so that was a good trade in gold. MYM has not been overbought, oversold. Again, overbought, oversold is hitting these channel areas. I haven't seen that. And let's see here. Did have a good push up right at 6 o'clock. Been strong, hit the market. Buying pressure came in. But right now, not too much else in the YM. M2K, we did look at this, I think, a little earlier. We just hit overbought here. The pinstripes drop out when that happens, and then we're selling off. There's sell pressure coming in. This could have been a good short opportunity, and it was. It was profitable. It's a little close to the 100, a little more than I like it. I might have gotten out at the 100, but you can see it did go through. Okay, so let's take a look. All right, well, the micro NASDAQ hasn't hit overbought, oversold really in a while. We did hit it back here. Order flow pushed into overbought. Order flow dropped off pretty solidly. I would have gone short here, targeted that, or at the 100. If you held on to it, it's a beautiful, what I call a rail to rail trade. It went from this rail, the top rail, to the bottom rail, the micro NASDAQ. We come in here and we hit this rallying sell pressure, finally just probably exhausted the market move. We go into oversold just a little bit, little touches here and there, and then now the market order flow starts coming back and probably going along right there makes sense. Had we gone long here, if you did that, you probably ended up with a stop. Well, there is a possibility that you went and you put your break-even stop here, but this was probably a better trade going along here. Target was up there, so we achieved target at that point in time. All right, let's see if we have anything, and not much else. So I mentioned the Lido channels produces our histograms, what we call the tendency histograms. Now, these are fascinating little tools. And it tells us, on average, where does this market like to be? You know, throughout the this time period, throughout these minutes of the day, the market likes to be, or has been in recent past, positive. So it's green histograms, positive since 6 o'clock, all the way up there. It's positive through a little bit through here, so 9:30 or so, where we see a little weakness coming in. We see a big push up between 9:45 and 10:15, and it drops off back down to the 100 or perhaps below the 100 from 10:15 to about 10:45, and then it rallies. So this is a fingerprint, if you would, a price fingerprint for what the micro NASDAQ has done in the recent past. You know, we're coming in, we have a strong order flow buy here. Tiger Claw is showing a lot of buying pressure. Now, we didn't hit oversold. What I would like to see is to go oversold, which is way down here, then see buying pressure come in. That's telling us that we're tired of this oversold condition and market is turning up. That'd be ideal. That would be ideal. Or even considering this, once we hit buying pressure strong going into overbought area, you want to see it tapering off. And we don't really see a negative turn. So right here, this bar right down here is the first negative bar below the histogram. So the histogram here has a 0 level, and the negative bar is right there. So that doesn't really hit till right about our entry That's a good sign to go short. Right about there. That's actually on our entry bar. So the order flow went from positive to negative right there. That is our point, and that is the bar that we entered on. So that's a good indication of time to go short. Another thing too is if you know about divergence. So this is a falling volume histogram. This price went up in that same period. So it went up and up. So uh, a lot of selling was going on here, a lot more selling than buying in a sense, where eventually now the sellers did take over completely on that bar. The net selling, the net delta went down, and the market really tanked from there. So, all right, still buying happening here at 9:04 in the morning. While we're waiting, I'm going to show you Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin spot price. Yeah, I don't know if you know that, but in Ninja, you can get using the Coinbase feed, the data feed from Coinbase. It should be free on your Ninja platform. You can get all these spot, a whole bunch of spot cryptos. So we were oversold here and here, and now we don't get volume data on this, so I don't think we could. Oh, we do actually. Let's try it. I don't know if we're gonna get a tick level. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. I need tick level volume data. That's what we need in order to get that to work. Let's see if it works. Now I have a equities feed of stocks, the U.S. stocks, but that does not provide tick level volume data, so I can't use this on that set of instruments. Tiger Claw does need tick level, single tick volume transaction data. And it's gonna take a while because it's probably a lot of transactions going on. How many days do I have loaded? Okay, well I don't want 50. Go 10. So you'll have trouble loading a lot of days of data because this is ticks. Bitcoin has a lot of ticks. So you want to cut down your days. Any questions? Feel free to drop them in the comments while we're waiting for this to load. I want to thank you again for joining me. God bless you. I am a Christian and I would love to talk with you about that and let you know why I became one many years ago. I'm celebrating 30 years of being in Christ this year, 1995. Yes. So there we go. We do have it. All right. That's interesting. I'm not sure if I trust it completely, but uh, it's just mostly positive, which is odd to me. So I don't know if I trust the volume data too much yet. It's just all positive, which is very different. Little dip. There's some dips here that are down, but uh, I don't know. We'll take it for what it's worth. I'm not sure if I completely trust the data yet. We have that. We also have Solana. Let me see if I have. I only need about 10 days. Oh, I have allergies this season. I don't know why that is. Okay. Anyone else here suffer with allergies? This is life. All right, so we got this a little quicker on Solana. Uh, Again, I'm not entirely sure if I trust that info. I mean, there are some dips down, but There we go. We dipped down into that oversold area, and then it just quickly, see how quickly that volume just curled up. Certainly a time to go long right here. We would have hit target multiple times, so that's good info. If you trust this information here, I mean, it's a buy pressure going into oversold, and certainly a good time to go long right there. Beautiful, beautiful entry. Hit target right away. Our tendency histograms are green, meaning the market likes to be going up. These are generally, you can see the volume is generally, obviously, buying volume and going into oversold. That's an ideal situation, and those two worked out as well. So I think we're going to be moving into this tiger claw, lion claw uh, system, a little add-on to help get us current market analysis. Now this is the micro Bitcoin futures, MBT, and this is the May micro Bitcoin futures. Great time to go long right there. We're coming into oversold, and buying pressure just hits hard, and we would have did our scalp right there, and definitely did very well. Micro Bitcoin is, I think, it's only like, yeah, 50 cents a tick. So that was a $10 move right there. So that is our system. That's our system, guys. Oh, yeah, fascinating. Look at that. Copper just rejected out of that overbought area. That's really a good sign. We're going to keep an eye on that. Now this is crude. This is the crude market. Now, one thing I mentioned is I really don't like to trade trends. Now, a trending signal, we're trying to figure that out, to be honest with you. I want reliability. Um, I think, you might consider a trend going from oversold to overbought. So this whole area could be an upward trend. And an upward trend is where you would buy a breakout of this swing high. So that could work. We're gonna analyze that. I've been in some trend trades that just don't work, just don't pan out. So not sure why I want to keep on doing that if it's not helping me. All right, we had a big move up at 4:10 in the morning here, 4:08. While we're doing that, let's take a look at the news. So here's the news calendar for today, May 20th. We got some people speaking, some smart people speaking with an announcement. Other than that, a couple more smart people speaking. Let's hope they're smart, right? They sound like they're smart, but they're smart enough to be listed on Econo Day news calendar, right? So that's a good sign. Other than that, not too much. I would be interested in, it's already 9/11, so we've blown through those two. And a lot of T-bill announcements coming out at 11. Not much going on our news calendar. Nothing related to crude. Now, I also like to look at live cattle. I look at the ags, the meats. We'll keep this chart. We'll be switching around this chart for meats and ags. Yeah, this is yesterday. Now, I would have strongly considered going short here, and it just didn't pan out. We had a tendency to go down in our order flow. We were overbought. Going short here, we would have probably had a stop out. That's right. Not every trade is a winner. Some trades are losers, guys. Why do I have? Okay, I do have that. Okay. Don't believe people when they say every trade's a winner. I don't know if they say that anymore. I think they've all wised up because usually it's just not true. Uh, I'm looking for overbought, oversold. So we're overbought here, and the market. We don't get a sell signal, first of all. We get one here, however, and that would have been a break-even trade or a little bit of profit. We are going, the order flow is dropping while price is rising, so that's a good signal. Could have even considered going short here. We get a gap now. We get a gap between the order flow histogram and the average lines. So that's a good indication of a real strong sell-off. And that occurs right at this swing right here. So coming out of that, this would have been a good right there. And we would have gone short when it hit that level right here. All right. So that market opens up in 15 minutes. We could take a look at the soybean complex. Does trade overnight and it trades before 9 o'clock. Now it shuts down. If you do ever trade the soybeans or any of the grains, they shut down between 8:45 and 9:30 Eastern time. So you want to make sure not to be in a trade during that time. They can do some really weird things between 8:45 and 9:30. Uh, so you'll see it right here. This last trade occurred 8:45, and now it's just in limbo. And they're actually doing trading. I haven't figured this out quite yet, but there is some trading going on, and you can actually get your stop and I think you can get your stop or target hit. I think. Don't quote me on that, but it does really weird things during this time. I don't remember. I was in one trade many years ago, and it did some odd things. I don't. You don't want to be trading, have a position open during that time. My personal recommendation. You can see though it comes out of there with usually with a good move. So there's a gap that occurs. I look at this guy. Well, not much of a gap, but a definite move out of that area. And that occurred at 9. So it goes from 8:45 to 9 o'clock. 9:30, sorry, 8:45 to 9:30. And that's off to the races. So this is soybean oil. So we pushed down strongly into oversold. And now look at that. We're rising green, right? The trend line or the average line for our lion claw. Definitely a good time to go long. We're oversold. We're going to go buying here. And we hit target. And it reverses off our target level. Goes down a little bit. But now this might be a good trend idea. Trend is going up. We're at or near the 100, which I don't like. I don't like to buy into the 100. But if you bought here, a rising lion claw, you do hit a target on a trend trade right there. So this is the entry price right here. The target is this line, and you hit it right there. This is a better trade location. It's flattening out. We don't have as much buying and selling pressure. We are above, the average is above the midline. And that means, to me, it does mean a long bias. So we could go buying here or here. and then target would be, in this area. We push up overbought, we buying into overbought. Both of these trades would have worked. This is a very small gain, but that's what scalping is, right? We're looking for a short, quick gain here. Both of them, excuse me, were good for a scalp. All right, let's get into the current market. Let's see what happens. 918. Let's run through our equity indexes, futures. Not much going on in the YM. This is the trade of the day right now. We were overbought. Market was moving into selling pressure, and we could have even gone short any one of these locations. Boom, 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 and it does hit target at the 100. So that was the Russell. This is the micro NASDAQ. Micro NASDAQ. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I don't have my equities data feed turned on, so we won't even look at the equities yet. Oh, let me see what nat gas. So this is natural gas. Let's see how that looked today. One thing we can look for too, natural gas, you can see really had a nice push up in volume right there. It sells off, but right when it returns to an upward bias, right in this area, this could be a good trend trade area. So let's think about that. Keep an eye on that. So if we're buying here, you would, if you're looking at long in this area, I would buy on a break of this swing high. This is a trend trade now. Just barely missed our target, but that could have been a long right in this spot. A resumption of the upward move would have put you in long right at this area, and that target was right here. Um, so if we're above the 100 and we go from a negative and then a negative delta up to starting a green delta, it could be an area of buying. Looking for trend trade ideas. That's all we're doing. Now, nat gas, this could be our first trade of the day. This is overbought. Tendency is somewhat down. This is a sell signal, and we have selling off of delta. It's kind of rallying here, so I think what we'll do, let's put all right, what's our risk? Our risk is $270 from top to bottom. Uh, yeah, buying pressure there. Selling pressure is still there, so let's go short right there. Let's see if we can tick that one in. I'm risking only 10 ticks on this trade. So $100 in natural gas. Let's see how this shapes up. So I said my my I'm gonna risk a little more than 10 ticks. I'm gonna go up to this swing high, and then our target is gonna just be down here. We're not gonna be greedy today. Hopefully, never. I'll be like greedy people. We'll see. So I'm risking only about 140, $150, and I'm targeting 180, right? Yeah, make it bigger, make it bigger font on these things. I'm going in for an eye appointment, eye exam tomorrow, guys, so get better glasses. So that's interesting. We're still seeing delta is basically zero here, right? The average is down. The delta is 11. The average is negative 109. So our risk is tiny. We are seeing some buying pressure coming in. So 9:25 in the morning is the equity indexes. So the micro NAS just had some strong negative delta. This is our daily NASDAQ chart. We started monitoring this guy right in this time, right in the end of April, and it's done very well. Maybe the equities are back, being positive. All right, well, copper is putting in a good bottom. I'm going to do a buy stop market in copper right here. So we're oversold, starting to see some lifting of the order flow, getting a little green swing trend line there. Our target is probably going to put right below that 100 MA. Gas is still kind of ticking away. All right, this was bean oil. Let's switch it to soybeans, VS market. Might need to switch to like a 2-minute chart on the VS. Sparse this time of day. Silver had a strong sell-off. Good time to scalp silver as we go down right in this area. All right, copper is moving in to buy. Well, our nat gas is not doing so well. That's all right. Our stop loss is keeping us safe. 927 was not overbought here, so just a little bit early. Let's see where we're at with copper. That did not hit our entry in copper. 928. Our equities. If we get down to oversold, very different story. Right now we're in the middle of limbo. We don't really want to trade, really. We don't want to trade if we haven't hit overbought, oversold recently. No need to get out in front of a moving, an oscillating market. All right, so nat gas got us. 9:29 in the morning. These would have been good gold trades. I think we covered that already. That's the micro gold contract there. All right, coming in at 9:30 here, folks. Gonna open the market in a moment. Hmm. All right, so it's 9:30 now. Did not hit overbought, oversold in the equities. Copper still oversold. All right, let's start off here. Micro Bitcoin is oversold. Nat gas continues its rally. Let's see where my favorite food is today. Yes, beef. So we have an overbought region up here, oversold region down here. So we're not near that yet in live cattle. Here's our copper. Waiting on copper to move. Tendency histogram is up. So this tells us that historically in this time of day, copper is usually above this yellow line. It's deeply oversold in volume. And historically, it's near its oversold levels. It's down there. So let's hold on to that guy. What bar was this? This was right here. This bar that pushed through the 100 was a big negative delta. That's a big move in silver. If you went short right at the close of that big negative delta bar, that's a $500 trade at the bottom of that. My scalp would have been much more conservative, like 175. All right. Yeah, copper just did not hit our entry. Yeah, we do have a new entry price though. Oh, let's see what our risk is. So the risk here is $300. From here down to there, it's $300. We like to risk just 300 on our trades. All right, well, we had a good buy delta. Go back to copper here. Boom. Too much. Back to live cattle. Go to crude. Coming near oversold in crude. Natural gas got us today for 150-ish. All right. Gold is moving up. Let's see if copper is following. Sometimes copper moves opposite of gold. It's not as consistent. Silver and gold are somewhat in agreement, typically. Copper is, I guess, more industrial, so it's driven by different forces. Although, you know what, copper prices being what they are. All right, so we are long in copper, guys. We're going to put our stop a little more conservative here. 262-ish. Now our target, I'm going to move it just down to near the 100 moving average, that yellow line. Copper can rally here. So the 62% target is this magenta dashed line. So we're right near the 100. Let's move it just shy of that guy. Again, I like this trade. Expectancy histogram is up. Look at the strong buying pressure coming in as we try to push through that's these swing highs, areas of selling. Yeah, well, let's see how our micro NAS is doing. What I mean by trading in this no man's land, in between the channels, a lot of whippy can happen. And we had really strong buying pressure at the open, right? Came into the 100 and just reversed. Russell didn't even get that high. Micronaz has still been lackluster. A lot of whippy. I'm not interested in whippy markets today. Here's our trade. We are long in copper. crude is still going south. Nat gas is going north. And our copper trade is just not performing. Mm-mm. We exceeded this high by a tick or two, and that was all we got. Since we're not so excited, I'm going to move my target down to the 100. Let's get out of here as soon as we can. Yeah, well, order flow is taking a turn to the worse. Like to see our order flow softening up. See if copper can find some buyers. Find some buyers in copper. Gold is rallying a little bit, maybe. Silver, silver's tired. Hmm. Well, we're risking less than 300. 262 to risk. Maybe copper can still find the gas pedal here. I like to get out of a trade if it's not performing right away. This is not our ideal trade. This is not what we like. What we like is when we break through it swiftly and, if we hit target in a couple bars, that's fine, but this clean, swift break is what we're looking for, like this situation right here. Or this sell dot right here, we just moved strongly through that level. There's way too much selling interest right in our zone. So in light of that, I'm going to move my stop up to, I think we're risking about 150 here. And you know what? If I'm too cheap, that's fine. We get stopped out for a small loss. 150 in risk. And that's fine. That's half an hour. Yeah, gold is just petering out. We had our spurt in gold. Silver is a little bit stronger. All right, well, that's encouraging. Keep moving there. Buyers are coming in still. Excuse me. Don't like the stall. Gold, silver, copper. Gold, silver, and copper. Have a look at the YM. Right, we're going to go to the Russell here and then take a look at the micro NASDAQ. Very sleepy market. I don't want to be in it here unless we're hitting overbought, oversold. There's got to be some action. There's got to be action. So the way that I determine what action is really hitting overbought, oversold. Think about it like well, it's an auction, right? So how far do we get from the asking price, like the normal value? Like if everyone sees an automobile at, 20 grand, a used car, when the bidding starts at $5 and it's a $20,000 car, right? It's oversold, so people are going to be bidding up. People are going to be bidding toward the true value. If it values 20 grand and people are bidding, way up here at 40 grand, it's probably going to not sell. It's going to be nobody's going to buy it at 40 grand. So there's pressure there. They're overbought, oversold is the whole point. Well, copper it's a creepy crawly market today, guys. Gold is picking up. Copper. Maybe you can, maybe sleepy little dude. Hmm, just nothing. Maybe we got a little, we got a nice spurt. Got some lion claw is showing a move almost to extreme levels on order flow. Just shy of our. So this gray line up here is a threshold level. So it's a measurement of historical highs in the order flow. So again, I'm targeting the 100. The 100 can be a natural, to me, it's a natural target, an area of support resistance. Probably just because it's easy to see, right? I mean, everybody knows how to calculate that. But I do see it get respected enough times. Like, for instance, this was a good example. Strong trend trade possibility coming off the 100. This would have been a good push down with that volume. All right, well, if we don't get going here, well, guys, let's go and move our stop really tight. We're just going to take a couple ticks on this now because copper is getting toppy. And if we lose a little. Oh man, I love losing a little instead of losing a lot, right? And we can pull the plug on this if you think so. We got a couple bucks here, couple dollars. Where is gold at? Gold is pushing higher, so copper is a little slow to respond, but so we just touched our price. Didn't get filled. I hit the bid on our sell. All right, let's move it to break even. We do have one bar that is in profit. That red little down candle there. All right, so that trade will either hit target or stop. We'll see. Switching over to the YM. Here is the Russell. So the equities are taking their, again, the tendency histogram is coming to fruition here. Tendency is downward, and that's is, oh, our stop just got hit in copper, guys. Yeah, so we're out with break even on that. So we're out on a break even trade. And that is just fine. All right. Natural gas is showing a toppy action. We had overbought. Market is order flow is dying, and tendency, look at that, is showing a good position. Normal for gas is to be below the 100 during the next hour and 20 minutes. So our risk is 300, so we're just going to trade one contract, go short, sell stop market. We'll go right below that level. So there is a short order, a sells order in gas, natural gas, gas of the natural variety. Well, copper, you got me. The next bar did push through. Quite a quite a strong move. Look at that. Copper took off, guys. Took off to the races. Tempted to do a quick scalp here. Hmm. Now this is a little bit off book, guys, but I'm gonna do a let's target this one. This is a little off the book. Something is running in copper. Look at that order flow. The delta is strongly upward. Oh boy. Well, we might lose $125. That's what I get for going off the book. Kind of a trend trade. I was looking, I got in at that trend. Saw our target up here. All right, where are we at with lion on lean cattle? Live cattle, live cattle. Almost oversold in crude. Gas is still up here, hasn't come down to our short entry price. The Russell, micro NASDAQ, there's the Russell. Copper, let's take a look at silver and with gold. Definitely a better trend trade in gold, folks. My bad. That was right. A resumption of the trend, yeah. So I'd be looking for copper if we settle down. So if this histogram starts tapering off, right? And then once it picks back up in a northerly direction, we could look at copper again for a trend trade. Not much going on there, guys. All right, gas, natural gas is coming near our short. Good amount of selling. Where's gold at? Take a look at silver. Crude is flatlining. Yeah, so there's our entry dot. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Metals are looking healthy here. They are overbought in gold. Strongly overbought in gold. All right, guys, give me a moment. I'm going to take a quick break. Hold on. Hmm. Okay, we're back. We're back. Copper is going a little bit left and right. Gold is happily moving north here. Silver is, I think it's going to push higher. Turn off that annoying cursor. Well, looks like I put my stop right at the bottom of the at the buying area. All right, gas. Well, we almost got filled in the natural gas. That's fine. If it wants to keep doing its thing. Tendency is still, you know, expectation here is down. Well, copper got my number. All right, equity futures. This is the YM. This will be a trend trade possibility. All right, we're coming up on hitting the 100 again. Delta is going down. See the reaction on the 100. Let's wait for that. Yeah, copper hit its target. Sold off. Silver and this is gold. gas. We're moving silver, folks. I don't know what all these smart people said, but gold and silver and copper are responding northward. 10 o'clock, Mr. Barkin and Mr. Bostic said something. Muscle. Sell pressure here. Setting up a trend trade here. Got a good amount of distance to our overbought area. Delta is positive. I would consider going long here above that recent high. Oh yeah, silver and gold are in lockstep, but copper is there, consolidating though compared to gold and silver. Sure. Crude. rejection of 100. Right around the 0 level. So that's gas. So we'll take a look at crude next, and then look at live cattle. First silver and gold. This is the Dow. Interested in a trend trade downward. Downward. All right, let's do that. We're going to do 8 contracts. We're going to sell at the ask price. All right, so we're short 8. Got my stops in. Let's see where our target prints. So trend trade, folks. Trend trade. Any second we should get a print of our target. It's going to be right around here. There it is. All right, so we're right at the target level with our target. Let's see how it goes. So the tendency histogram is up here, but weakening in this, coming into an area where it's weakening. Let's see. Now this is short 8 contracts in the micro Dow. Again, that's based on risking our $300. Yeah, you can see our risk analysis right down here at the bottom right part of the chart is where we put our number of contracts. So $300 risk, $34 per contract, and we're going to risk 8 contracts to get our $300. So, all right, well, the Dow is selling off. Once we get fully in profit, let's go ahead and move our target stop loss to break even. I wait for this bar to close, and if it's completely below the entry, then we move it to break even. A few more seconds. There we go. Let's give it one tick profit. Maybe we'll get hit. All right, well, we got a tick or two. That's okay. It's a weak, sort of a weak signal. Just didn't follow through. This is the Russell. Take a look at the micro NAS. Had sort of the same signal in the micro NAS, and it just did not pan pan out. Net delta was strongly down in micro NAS. That's trend trades. Again, I personally am not super impressed with them. Tell me what you think. Hmm. Buying pressure in natural gas. Well, the trend line, the average, the signal line here on our histo is down. Silver is climbing to new highs on a falling volume. Same thing with gold, moving up while volume is dropping. Copper is sort of moving up, yeah. I think this move is slowing for sure. So we are overbought, strongly overbought in silver, strongly overbought in gold. Not overbought or oversold in copper yet. All right, not much going on yet. Natural gas. I'm going to put a let's put a sell limit in at 3.312, and we're just going to risk a small amount here. We'll put our stop right above that swing high. If we get filled, you can see our tendency is downward. We had a bump in order flow, which has petered out. Going to risk very little on this trade. We're only down 1 hour today so far, a couple trades. Our value is $300, so we're down $295. I made the mistake of chasing copper. Well, I guess it's not a mistake of chasing it, but my mistake with moving our stop so tight. We had a 10 tick stop, and it moved. Market looked like it moved 13 or so, 12 or 13 ticks against us. Again, another trend trade is setting up here. Okay, we're short in nat gas. So we'll do a trend trade in copper. Rising order flow, we have a tendency upward, breaking new highs. So let's see how that works out. Okay. I'm going to move my stop on that gas to there. Let's see if we can target this 100 moving average. Copper might move on without us. Maybe on its way without us. A lot of buying action in copper. Go back to gas. All right, if we break 3.3, I think we're going to go down to 3.27 here. 3.28. Yeah, guys, I think we missed our copper trade. I'm going to cancel copper. Still rising price on falling delta. Rising price and still a little falling delta on a longer term look back. Gas is flirting with us. Hmm. This is a little modified lion entry. I mean, I went short ahead of the dot. I went short based on this little swing right here. So we broke through that little swing bar. You see I went short right at that swing low. Tendency is those down. Look, we still have some good short selling volume. It certainly could reverse. Okay, it's not like we've got a guaranteed sure thing here, but we're a little bit far for a scalp. I would say a scalp would be whatever this. If we break below this 62 dot, we're going to get a target that's probably right about here, which makes sense because this is a support area, but okay, let's peek at copper, peek at silver. Here's gold. Micronaz. And we're back with natural gas. Copper did hit the trend target. We just didn't get in on it. Bad story in at gas here, guys. It's all right. Once it's over, we're going to look for another short because it's still got sell signals. All right, there's crude at. Copper, silver, and gold. And there's the equity indexes, Dow. Here's the Russell. It's creeping higher. Micro Nas. Finally got some buying volume. All right, let's go to our gas trade. Target is moving up a little with that rising 100. Hmm. Well, we were one tick away from a stop out. See, so oh, gold has a sell dot here. We're going to keep an eye on that guy. Gas is finding a little rest. Okay, move down all you want. I give you permission to go down. All right, copper. Yeah, kind of what I thought. We were getting toppy there. Gas is almost at break even, I can see. Here's our net gas trade, guys. Hmm. If we don't have a bar close here that's downward, why would I be in it, right? Hmm. And it's a downward close. Getting ready to jump out. We're at a support here. Natural gas has to prove itself to me. Target is moving up a little. We have a rising 100. Well, we're going to move our stop ultra tight again. Let's move it right there. It's just 5 ticks away from entry, so I see some rising delta. The lion claw is moving up. Oh, we do have some buying stepping in here. All right, well, our risk is super tiny. All right, where'd copper go? Copper's back up there. Silver, it's going to have a good sell signal right here. We'll sell level. MYM is just flatline. Crude. And let's get back to our gas trade. Well, we might get our stop here. Risk is super tiny. All right, so we just got a small tick in our gas trade, not a problem. Nice to go in small and not have problems when you get stopped out. I could sell pressure in silver and gold. Copper is we didn't have a good sell dot in copper yet. So there's that short in silver. It's a big contract, guys, so don't go short if you're not feeling it. I'm even risking more than normal here. All right, we've got a couple trades here. All right, 4 contracts in gold. All right, silver is short. Now the target is going to be a little bit higher than that. That'll print in a minute or so. Silver, let's make some money today. All right, so there is our target. Let's be conservative and let's shoot for that. Silver, the heavyweight. All right, keep breaking down. This is what is setting up as a flush bar reversal. We got a good sell delta, but the price is retracing. All right, we got filled on our gold position here. Let's target a little bit deeper. We're going to go for this target here, guys. In our gold short. See if silver can get on board. Hmm. Hmm. Well, we're having trouble. Coming up at 10:40. Just not getting cooperation today, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we might hit our $300 stop in gold, guys. That's a 1 hour stop right there. Now we're at 1 hour in silver here right now. Mm-mm. Well, 1 1/3 hour is gonna get hit. Mm-mm. All right. Well, that was not so good. We got to get back in it. We got to get back in it. That's all. I think we still have a little a directionless market here today. All right. Yeah, we're down 3R. Oh, that's Meta. Sorry, that's a equity. And we're coming up at 10:43, so we got about 15 minutes of our session left. Again, thank you for joining me. We're trading mostly the lion method today. I've gone a little off script, but waiting for this market to reverse is getting challenging. It's proving challenging. Yeah, this bar right here, Jen, was a pin bar. This pin bar down here had negative delta. However, it was an upward close. It's called a flush reversal. Smarter trader would have gotten out there. Lesson learned. All right, well, the Russell here is setting up for a trend trade. We're getting the new highs. Got quite a good distance to go before we hit overbought. So it's $10 a tick, so we can do, I don't know if I can do 30. Let's try it. All right, let's wait for the market to come back to us. Good pop of buy volume here. Could also go a long trade on micro NAS. But let's see what the Russell brings us. Isn't that something? Well, we got ticked out on silver. And not too far off from gold either. All right, our interest is in a micro Russell. How long in the micro Russell? All right, our stop and target is in. Now, let's do our, I want S9. All right, let's do 20 off at our target, and we'll do 10 off a little bit further on, guys. We're gonna go for more. So there for our target. 100% of that swing distance. So yeah, and if the Russell reverses, let's get conservative. We'll put our stop just there. Always trade with a stop. They will protect you. Sometimes too much, but all right. Small hit in the Russell, but that's all right. Small hit is okay. Oh, and at 10:50, near our end of our session. Time flew today. Yeah, see, it's good to be out. Good to be out of a losing trade. All right. That was only a half of an hour stop out, so that's all right. Markets are just gone quiet. Yeah, good to be out. Wow, found some good support at the 100 on a micro NAS. Oh, I think I just axed. I just axed copper, guys. Sorry about that. I wish there was a way in Ninja to reopen a closed tab. Let's duplicate him. And we're going to switch you to copper. Wow, I don't see anything setting up right now, ladies and gentlemen. So we can go ahead and close it down for today. Again, thank you for joining me. Blessings to you. It was a rough day. Um, I went off script a little bit, so a lesson learned. Here was one place I went off script. We just took a little hit in this nat gas trade. Uh, let's see. I also had one that was a little off script. My first trade of the day. Really, just I mean, we took a small hit. Wasn't a very large one. I think it was a half of an hour on our first nat gas trade. I really think this market's going to break down, but keep an eye on it. We didn't do any crude trades, no live cattle. Copper, yeah, so it's all right, so a long trade in copper, looking at the rising delta. We did get stopped out at break even, and then the market just happily went north. I did a really uh, kind of off the cuff thought of a breakout above that high uh, level here, some sort of a trend trade. We did have a tendency to go up, and yeah, the tendency was up, but my stop was hit, so a little tight stop got me out there. That's going to happen. All right, let's see. Silver was, yeah, that was a tough one. So we went short on a breakdown of that. This is a legitimate lion short trade, no doubt about it. Can't say it wasn't. Broke down here. We went short. This bar, though, I'm learning is it's a flush reversal. So the delta was down. A new low was put in. The delta is low, but it pushed up higher. So a higher close on a low, on a negative delta, that's a good signal to go long. So I held to the target, to a full stop, which was right there. And gold, we went short on gold here on a retrace into that level, and it just ticked me out right at the top. I would strongly think about going short gold right there, guys. Keep an eye on that today. Russell, small stop in the Russell. That's it. Glad to be out of that trade. So there we are, folks. Thanks again. Really appreciate you joining me. Uh, I'd love to hear from you. So you see my store up here, store.sbgtradingcorp.com. Visit me. leave a message and I will definitely get back to you here on the YouTube channel. Guys, thanks again. Blessings to you. Be well.